Hello everyone, I'm Leanne Flower, founder of Eureka and Like-Minded Women. Thank you for joining me today. Just want to take a couple of moments just to talk you through the format of the recording for those of you who haven't listened to our recordings before. So what I'm going to do is talk to you for about 30 to 40 minutes and share with you some useful hints and tips on how to improve your marketing stroke sales performance today. So we do have 3 different areas that we focus on in our webinars. 1 personal development, 2 sales and 3 marketing, and you can find a recording on each of those subjects in the LMW forum, the Like-Minded Women forum. But today we are focusing on networking, increasing your business through networking, which really falls under the category of both sales and marketing. So you'll find a copy of this webinar in the sales and in the marketing sections on the Like-Minded Women forum for you to download after you view this webinar. So without further ado, let's get on, because there's a wealth of information to cover in today's webinar. It actually, I could spend hours and hours talking about this. It's actually a 3-hour course that I normally deliver, so it's going to be quite intensive to try and get it all in 30 minutes. So, as I said, today we're focusing on increasing your business through networking, and we are going to cover what is networking and why should you bother to do it. We're going to look at what you need to do, steps you need to put in place before you actually even attend an event, what to do on the day, and what perception you want to get across to other people in the room. So how do you want to be perceived? And it's not by accident how people dress, or actually maybe it is, but it shouldn't be, and how they behave, etc. Working the room, so it's really, really important when networking to understand who's in the room and have a clear idea of what you want to be saying to them and what you want to get out or get from people in that room. And then action steps to take when you leave the event. So people ask, what's all the fuss about networking? Why do people bother to network? Isn't it just a way of having some free time, having a bit of a jolly? Well, take it from me, it isn't. So for those of you who know me well, the last year I launched Like-Minded Women, and within I think it was about a 7-month period, I launched 5 Like-Minded Women groups. And during last year, we had over 300 people attend our networking events on a regular basis. And so I can tell you that, networking really works. People are out there, they are networking, they are wanting to meet each other. And for me personally, 99% of my business has come through networking. So it isn't a joke, it isn't a jolly. It really is very, very effective about getting new clients and extending your business through a really nice way, really a way of increasing relationships. So the definition of networking is interacting or engaging in an informal communication with others for mutual assistance or support. So this is the wonderful thing about networking. It is informal and it involves communication. Great. And the best thing is it's for mutual assistance or support. So it's not just a one-way street. Now lots of people are guilty of turning up at networking events, taking what they want and then getting out there and you never see them again. And that they're called networking vampires. And I don't want to teach you that. Please follow the steps that I'm going to show you today, and you'll find that you'll get real rewards, real benefits, and real growth in your business as a result of doing networking the right way. Okay, so what is the point? Again, hopefully you're getting the idea now that you can increase business through it. But as busy business women, we have thousands of things to do, looking after the kids, doing the food shopping, doing the cooking, doing our work, doing the do. If you bake pies or you sell pies for a living, you've got to bake the pies and then sell the pies and then bake some more pies and get the apples to go in the pies, etc. So what tends to happen is people bake the pies and sell them and then continue baking and then selling a bit, but they actually are not growing their business because there's no capacity to grow their business. They just sell to whoever's coming through the door. So what networking does is extend the number of people that you have access to. So it's really a great way of turning up, in a relaxed environment and then spreading the word about your business, not just to the 30 people in the room, but each person is said to know 100 people. So that's to 30 people who all know 100 people each. So that's a great way of really promoting your business. But that's not the only point of it. It's about building relationships. So it's not just about selling, and please do not ever turn up a networking event hoping to sell to the room, because the maximum you're going to get is 30 sales if there's 30 people in the room. So what you're looking for is a further reach than that. It's to develop the relationships with the people in the room who may or may not want to buy from you, but hopefully they will know other people who want to buy your products or services. And again, that's not the only reason. What networking is fantastic for is putting you in touch with suppliers, affiliates, associates, people that you can work with and really develop and grow your business through them as well. So it really is about relationships for mutual effect. Please don't think that you're going to get an immediate return on the investment of time that you've put into one networking event. It doesn't happen like that. It takes time. So it's going to take you, I would say, give it at least 6 months, to a year before you start seeing a repeated return on your investment from networking. So if you imagine, this is just like real life with friendships, really. If you met somebody once, and then they told you about themselves, and then you never saw them again, that would be it, wouldn't it? You wouldn't think to get in touch with them. If somebody needed something that they were selling, you wouldn't think to put them in touch with them because it was just a passing visit with them. But if you've seen them twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, then they're going to start thinking, that's the person who bakes pies. Okay, and if somebody's looking for apple pies, they'll know to put you in touch with them. So it's about being at the forefront of their mind. It really is like a gentle drip feed, like PR, on TV with the Coca-Cola advert. They're not telling you to go and buy a bottle of Coke there and then. What they're doing is drip feeding your awareness that Coca-Cola exists, and that if you are thirsty and you're in a shop, guess what? You're going to want to buy Coca-Cola. Same with networking. So you do need to attend an event more than once. Now, during today's webinar, I'm talking about networking events that you attend, but actually it's about any networking event. Networking online is really, really taking off. It's so popular now, and that's why I've launched Like-Minded Women Forum, so that you can network online. And the same principles exist there. You can't just jump on networking online forums, for example, and start selling to people. What they'll do is be instantly turned off. So if you start contributing to the forums, if you start contributing to the networking environments, offering advice, offering support, offering encouragement, then they're going to want to take an interest in you. They'll do a little bit of research on your business. They'll want to make a beeline for you and try and find a little bit more about you. So please, let it all take time. Build the relationship, build the trust, build the respect, and then and only then will people start to refer and buy from you. So it does really take time. Okay, so before you attend a networking event, and again, even this applies to online networking, you need to create a goal. So why are you going there? So many people just turn up at a networking event and think, oh, well, it's quite nice, it's lovely to be out, especially if you work for yourself and you work alone. Sometimes it's really lovely to turn up at a networking event, just see other people, just to share your thoughts with other people, just to get out. Fantastic. Sometimes it's nice just to be fed if you're going to a networking event that supplies food. But that really isn't the main point. Your time is precious. I'm guessing the time that you're in a networking event, you should be really generating money to pay your bills, to have the lifestyle that you want. So if you're a professional business person and you're serious about making money, you really need to be setting a goal for what you want to achieve. So what are you looking for as a networking event? Are you looking to meet people who can refer you to a certain target audience? Are you looking for somebody who could recommend a service supplier, for example, a web developer or a graphic designer or somebody who can create a brochure for you, or a PR person? What is it that you're looking to get out of the day? And what I would suggest to people when I train them is to say, try and speak to at least 10 people in the room if you can, even if it's just a hello and obviously time's running out, would love to have a one-to-one with you at some point. So try and speak to 10 people and introduce yourself to them, even if it's just a brief hello, and then come away with 3 one-to-one sessions planned. Now, if you're doing this online, obviously, you're not going to have one-to-one. Oh, you could have one-to-ones if you live near, but don't forget, it's not just about meeting face-to-face, the one-to-ones. So you can have one-to-one conversations, one-to-one emails, one-to-one Skypes, where you can see each other computer to computer. Technology is just moving so fast, and it's so fantastic at putting people in touch with each other. But please, have a clear goal of what you're trying to achieve from the day. Okay, so have a look at who's your key contact. How would you recognize them if you walked into a room? Would they be wearing a flower in their hair? Probably not. So how would you know who was going to be important to you? For example, if you sell Sage accountancy packages, then you may want to marry up or seek out people who are working with your target audience. So for example, you might want to speak to web developers who are creating websites for people thinking of launching their companies. You may want to speak to accountants who who are working with people to do their accounts, but the people haven't got enough money to pay a bookkeeper, so they're looking to use their own Sage packaging and just provide their accountant with the information. So who's using the technology that you're supplying, who's working with similar customers, and what type of customers do you particularly enjoy working with? Really hone in on your target audience. And again, if you pop onto the forum under the marketing section of the downloads, then you'll see that there is a webinar on identifying your target audience. And that's really, saving you a lot of time if you specify who you want to work with and then talk to people about who you want them to put you in touch with. Okay. Identify also if you've been to networking events and they've really worked out for you and you found that certain people are really great at referring other people to you, or certain personality types you get on really, really well with, and you build up great rapport and you have a win-win relationship with them. Who is that type of person? Are they loud? Would you notice them because they're gregarious? Or are they more cautious and calculating type? Do they dress in a particular way? Do they behave in a particular way? Have a look, take in the room, and then identify who you want to talk to. Okay, when you're going to a networking event, it's all about the power of attraction. I truly believe this in all aspects of your life and your business, that if you're thinking positively, good things will come to you. Obviously, you need to take action as well, not just think about good things happening to you. So you need to believe that you have a great product or service that people are interested in. You need to believe that people want to talk to you. You need to believe that you are going to meet the people who are going to be most useful to you today. So just really go with a positive frame of mind. Before you go then to a networking event, even just, really, really important this, before you even turn up at networking events, create your goal, know who you want to meet, get a guest list if you can from the organizer. That's not always possible, but if it is available, then try and get it in advance. They won't mind providing it to you. That's their job. They want you to have a successful networking relationships. That's why they've set the networks up. So have a little look then, who's on the list. Please don't be so rude and so arrogant to think, well, there's nobody on the list that's going to be useful to you. Don't forget, it's not about the people in the room, it's about the people that they know. So just bear that in mind. So who's on the list, do some research, and then find out. You'll put a star next to the people that you really want to make a beeline for. Get the directions before you turn up and make sure you're not late. Confirm what time it starts. I have no end of people who are turning up too late to, an hour and a half late sometimes because they haven't got the right start time. So make sure you know what time it starts and make sure that you are prepared and there early. It's really great to get there early. I'll talk about that in a second. Okay. Try and arrange one-to-one meetings in advance if you can. So don't just wait until you meet the people at the networking event. If you've got the list in advance, give them a call. Give people a call and say, I'm going to be at this event. It would be great to have a one-to-one with you. Perhaps we can do it straight after the networking. Or, at least if we could just say hello to each other, because I would like a one-to-one meeting with you again outside of the networking event. and prepare your elevator pitch. We'll talk about that in a moment. But in a nutshell, an elevator pitch is a tell me more sentence. So when somebody asks you, what do? Don't turn around and tell them your job title. They're not interested in that. They want to know what do, which means what service do you provide, and what solution do you provide others? What type of people do you help? What problems do they have? So then if you're really quite clear about what you're looking to promote that day, and you've got your elevator pitch prepared in advance, you're not going to be jittery, you're not going to be flushed. You know when you get that bright red look because you don't know what you're talking about, you're flustered. So you'll be prepared, and you'll actually get out of the event what you want to then, because you know in advance what you're going to say and what message you want people to hear. And then attend. The number of people who put their name down and then don't attend. By attending, you're taking great positive action. Your business will expand if you attend, if you do take this action. Take plenty of business cards with you. If you're in a situation where you've run out of business cards and you're getting them printed, that's fine. Use that as an opportunity to contact people after the event. So you tell them, I'm just having something printed, my business card's printed, I haven't got my details with me, I'll send you a quick follow-up email so you have my details. Would that be okay? So ask permission to do that. But if you have got business cards, please take them, and don't tell people you've forgotten them, because then they think you're an idiot. So please just take your business cards if you have them. Don't take leaflets or brochures either. That's a huge waste of expense for you. As a network organizer myself, I've spent so much time clearing up after an event, just taking leaflets and brochures off the tables and throwing them into the bin, it's sad to say. Now, how much money had people invested in printing that literature, only to find that it's been littered in the room and nobody's taken them? It's sad, it's disappointing, and it's not cost effective for you. So tell people about yourself, tell them how you want them to help you, and then follow up with an email if necessary, attaching your leaflet or your brochure if that's what you feel is necessary to build a relationship and to get you the results that you want. But do that on agreement when you meet the people. Take a notepad and pen. It's really great to make a note of interesting things that people have said during the day. So they may offer a great book that you should read. They may give you a name of somebody that you need to contact. You may want to write down some more details to remember that person by. It's really, really great sales pitch actually to remember. Well, actually not sales pitch, it's great for building relationships, to write down important facts about people that you meet. Don't forget the delegate list. If you've had that in advance, take it with you so that you're already familiar with the names of the people. Breath freshener is great. You don't want to be, you're going to be in close proximity with people and having one-to-one conversations. And you don't want to have the morning breath or a big coffee breath all over somebody. So please don't take gum. That looks really common, and, munching away is distracting from your message. If you've had a long day and you're networking events in the afternoon or the evening, you take some makeup with you. Make sure that you look fresh and live and attentive. So make sure that your lipstick stays on. Try to get the one that does stay on your lips rather than go all over the glass. If you've got a particular lipstick that goes all over the glass, don't forget you're going to be talking to people. You're going to probably be eating and drinking with them. You don't want a glass full of lipstick. So use a straw if that's the case. But try and blot your lipstick so it doesn't go everywhere. It's distracting. Okay, attending the event. Arrive nice and early if you can. The reason for that is it's great if you are uncomfortable about turning up for events on your own. So if you turn up a little bit early, don't arrive majorly early, because the event organizer will be setting up and probably be a little bit frustrated that they've got to talk to somebody and welcome somebody when the room's not just so. So arrive, maybe 15 minutes early if you can, and then you will not be on your own. The organizer will be there to greet you. The great thing about arriving early as well is that you can see who else is attending, so you'll see the name badges. You can tell the event organizer what or who you're trying to meet and what you're trying to get out of the event. and then ask them if they can put you in touch with key people. Also, when you arrive early, you can stand behind the event organizer, and when people arrive, you can then put a face to a name, and then instantly you can introduce yourself when they arrive. Okay, I'm just going through the webinar points so you can see what I've just talked about there. Wear your name badge on the right hand side. The reason for that is that's the way people shake hands generally, and they will look to that side, so they'll get your name badge there. Okay, when people go to networking events, what usually happens is, they usually turn up alone, and that's fine. Some people are comfortable with that, some people aren't. If you're comfortable with that, good on you. If you're not, as I said, arrive early, and then you'll be with the event organizer, and you won't be on your own. So you have to walk into a busy room. Now, naturally, everybody's going to turn to look at you because it's a primitive instinct. It's a safety instinct. They're just making sure that there's no threat coming through the door. So don't worry about that. Everybody will take a quick glance of who's coming through the door. Now, it's often scary to walk into a really busy room. So what people tend to do is that they find a place to hide in the corner. Please don't do that, because you may end up being trapped by somebody who's completely boring, and then you're stuck in a corner looking at all the very, very interesting people that you would have loved to have talked to. So the best thing for you to do is, you can stand with your backs against the wall if you like, but stand in the middle of the room rather than in a corner, so you can move left or right to avoid the person who's trapped you in. But the best thing to do is to stand in the middle of the room. There are great networkers who will be looking out for people who are on their own, and they will make a beeline for you, so don't worry about that. The best thing to do is find somebody else who are on their own. That's great. They'll love you for that, because then they may feel just as what's the word? Just as shy as you. So find somebody who's on their own, give them a big smile, a winning smile, the universal language, and then introduce yourself and then ask them their name. Then, as a pair, go and introduce yourself to other people who are on their own. So then you start gathering momentum, you start gathering numbers. Yeah? And soon then you've got a flight formation. So you're together, you've got a bit of a crowd, and then you can move around the room and ask people then, when you've got this crowd, who do you know who can help me with this? Who do you know in the room that you could introduce me to? Okay, then you're up and away. Everybody knows you, you know them. Now, the important thing is, if you're going to a networking event and you do know people in the room, by all means, come and say hi, say hello, have a quick introduction, but do not stay with them. They know you, you know them. The important thing about turning up at a networking event is to expand your contacts database, and you're not going to do that by staying with the same person. All that's going to happen is you're going to keep going to the same place, and you're going to end up, if you keep doing the same thing, you'll get what you've always got. And I'm assuming that you're networking to get more business, or to be put in touch with certain people who are going to help you grow your business or support you in your business. So you want to be mixing with other people as well as developing the relationships with people that you've known before. They'll appreciate as well if you don't hog them. So confident conversation, that's what it comes down to in networking. So I've met so many people who've said to me, they don't know what to say to people. How do they start? How do they walk into the room? What do they say? Their biggest fear is, what do I say? But you know what? Nobody really is interested in what you have to say. Sad to say. I mean, some people are, of course, and I'm just generalizing. But the most important thing is people are operating on a what's in it for me frequency. So a YFM. So the best thing that you can do, and the easiest thing you can do, is to ask great questions and then to listen to what people have to say. So don't rush in babbling on about everything that you do, because you're going to miss a great opportunity to offer good advice and to really hone in on your message. Because if you've listened to what somebody else has to say, they're going to disclose a lot of information, a lot of relevant information that's going to help you with your sales pitch, or again, help you identify how you can help them and they can help you. So listening is the great thing. Asking great questions. If you find that you're getting yes/no answers, the conversation's like a tennis game, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, very quick. You're asking closed questions. Those are the wrong questions to be asking a networking event. So you want to be asking open questions. Open questions are who, what, when, why, where, and how. Who, what, when, why, where, and how. And the illustration is the bums on seats, so you've got the W's are the bums, the bottoms, and they're sitting on the how seat. Who, what, when, why, where, and how. If you ask any of those questions, so what brings you here? Where have you, which other networking events have you been to before? When did you come here last, or when was the last time that you found the networking event useful? How are you finding the networking events? Who is the most important person for me to speak to today? You see how that just really lends itself to a nice open conversation and lends itself for you getting the information that you need. How do you want to be perceived? That's another important thing. So watch how you dress. Do you want to wear a flower in your hair because you're airy-fairy? Maybe you're a hairdresser and it's all about the hair and you want to get people's attention on that. Do you want to wear fashion, glamorous clothes because that's the industry that you're in? Do you want to wear, business attire because you want to be seen as cautious and calculating and, you've got all a clear and professional head on your shoulders? Do you want to be dynamic, like trainers and coaches? What image do you want to portray? What message do you want to get across? How do you want to be perceived on that day? Be yourself, though. That's the most important thing. So no matter how you dress, be yourself, be true to yourself. It's really, really important because you can fake it for so long and people will then sense that there's something not quite right about you. But actually, please do fake it till you make it on the confident side of things. You do have a great product or service. You are a great person. You do really care for your customers. So make sure that comes across. Make sure that they know that you are a good, honest person, reliable person, and you're there for the right reasons. You're there to build relationships and to help people and for them to help you. Okay, when you introduce people, don't just say, "This is Susie Lou." That's not good enough. "Hi, this is Susie Lou. Susie Lou, meet Jane." Not good enough. So what you need to do in the great networking environment is to say, "This is Susie Lou. She's from Handbags & Co. She opened a shop 2 years ago, and you should see it. It's absolutely jam-packed with customers all the time because she sells the most fantastic handbags. You must go and see it." Susie Lou, this is Jane. Jane is an accountant. She works with small, medium enterprises, and I actually have used her services on a number of occasions. She's fantastic, completely reliable, and can save you a lot of money. Great woman. Put your people in touch with each other via that way. So this is, what's their name, from what company, and then give them a little bit of an achievement or an accolade or some recommendation, and before you leave them. So introduce each other effectively and then say, "I'll leave you to it," and then walk away. Or join in the conversation if you wish. It's up to you. And then the elevator pitch, the dreaded elevator pitch. Don't be scared of this. All this is a great opportunity for you to get your message across. And you can change your elevator pitch depending on who you're speaking to and depending on what event you're attending. And again, online you can change your elevator pitch. But it is, what do you do? What service do you provide? Well, important thing, what's your name? What's your company? Now, people will miss that. So you need to make sure you say it at the end of your 60-second elevator pitch. It's called an elevator pitch because if it imagines that if you were in an elevator with somebody and they said, "What do?" you need to be sharing something with them that will make them want to stop the elevator doors from opening and say, "Really, tell me more," or continue to ride your elevator journey up a few more floors to find out more about you. So it's a great opportunity for people to say, "Tell me more." So you need to say your name, your company name, and then say what type of people you help and how you help them. And you make it funny if you wish, but there's an example of a chap. "Hello, my name is Bob Brown. I work for Looking Good, Feel Good company, and I help people pick their noses." And then people say, "Really?" "Yes, I'm a plastic surgeon." So you see how just something simple like that can get people's attention. But you can say, "I help people pick their noses. I'm a plastic surgeon." Everybody laughs. Great. And what I'm looking for today is people who really want to improve their confidence by making dramatic or mild changes to their appearance. So I'm looking for maybe women who are around 30 to 40 years of age and are who are unhappy currently with their appearance and it's affecting their confidence. So you see it's quite specific about what I'm looking for. So your elevator your elevator pitch can change, as I said, depending on who you're talking to and which event you're attending. Work the room when you're at the event, so use your delegate list, find out who's going to be there, and then start asking, do you know so-and-so, can you introduce me to them? Ask great questions, find out information. Now, most people do that, and then they leave the networking event, and that's it. I've seen business cards listed all over the room as well, so people attend the networking event, have something nice to eat, and that's the end of it. Now, what you should be doing is scheduling 15 minutes alone time after the event, taking the business cards and writing on them where you met the person and a key attribute or comment about that person. So I usually write, met at this event, on what date, and then something important that will remind me about them when I meet them again. So I will say something like they are going on a family holiday to Spain next week and really looking forward to it. So if I met them next month, I could say, holiday's coming up soon, are you packed yet? Or if I met them 2 months' time, I could say, how was your holiday in Spain? And now they feel really valued and appreciated and listened to if I can, regurgitate information like that and be interested in that person. Then go back to your office and then add them to a database, please, for goodness sake, even if it's just a spreadsheet. Get the details typed in. The reason for that is if you've got them in a Rolodex or you've just got a block of cards, you can't easily search their information. You can't easily keep in touch with them. If it's in an electronic format, you can import them into your email systems, you can import them into your newsletter package, but you can basically stay in touch with them, and it's so much easier than flicking through a card and typing an email address every single time you want to get the same message to different people. Send them an email to say it was really nice to meet you. Don't just send an email to every single person, it's really nice to meet you, and that's that. That's again like a networking vampire. So share some useful information. If you haven't got anything useful to say to them, then maybe it's best not to contact them on that occasion. But do make an effort to say hello and it was good to meet you. I would really appreciate it one-to-one so I can learn more about your business and for you to learn more about mine so we can see how we can help each other. Or, you mentioned that you were looking for somebody who can help you with web development. Here's a contact for you. Hope that helps, and I look forward to meeting you at the next networking event. Alternatively, if you haven't met lots of people, say you did get stuck in a corner with somebody who drained your time, please feel free to contact people on the attendees list and say, I was at the event, I'm so sorry I didn't get a chance to meet you today. Just wanted to say hello and to let you know that I will be attending the next one, and it would be great for us to introduce ourselves to each other. Please don't just send them a brochure and say this is me, because if they are interested in you, they will click on the link to your website anyway. Obviously, if you're promoting something that's time specific, then do include the details then and just say, you may be interested in this or know somebody who's interested in this. Okay, really good to have one-to-ones. They're so important. And again, one-to-ones can happen face-to-face, but also electronically as well. Don't forget email back and forth, video conferencing via Skype, all sorts of things where you are specifically getting to know people on a one-to-one basis. So important. That's the thing that's going to nudge your business forward in the right direction, rather than just blasting people with the same message. Get to know people, build the relationships. So that's it. That includes our networking hints and tips. As I said, I do spend at least 3 hours sharing this information with people. So 30, 40 minutes is a really short time. But I hope you've got the nuts and bolts of effective networking. And even if you start to applying just 1 or 2 tips from this, then I promise you, you will see an improvement in the relationship you're building with people. And via karma, what goes around comes around, you will start to see an improvement in your business. So good luck with it, and get practice in, and I look forward to catching up with you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.